What's good? It's your boy Zara Rice Reserve. Just coming through to let people know, yes, they're going to check the phone calls and they're looking at the implications of one of the suspects talking with Kodak Black. I just want to make something clear. I don't believe Kodak Black is the target or the person of interest that they're truly looking for, in my opinion. I have a lot of other information that points to a lot of people. If you're trying to say Kodak Black did something, then you definitely got to look at the people that are directly around X. Come on now. You think, come on, we seen videos and different things. Come on now. You really going to think that it was just him involved? No, I don't believe it worked that way. I don't believe it's just solely him. If they really get their heads together and are looking, understand, this is a angle that works for their defendants because it implicates another person and is trying to say, look, they did this. Even if there was a fallacious conversation, it was just that. I truly believe there are other parties at stake here in the scenario and situation going on. And being objective, here's what I'm saying. If I was Kodak Black's lawyer or someone, my first thing, I'm going to look at the situation and say, look, he conversated with these guys. As long as you guys are implicating this, I have to find a direct conversation linking them up in a scenario where this person is implicated in a situation going down. I don't believe a phone call that direct occurred. What I do believe is going on is that there was cell phone conversation. And this is what I'm saying. You guys need to subpoena cell phones. And not just him. It needs to be everybody around him. Because here's my thing. If I'm going to try and blame a guy who wasn't even around him like that, that means someone around snaked him. That it would have to mean that. And that's where the fear comes in. Because now I'm looking at everybody else around. Because Kodak is built for doing this type of stuff. He's in and out. He's able to man this up. Whoever was involved feared going to jail. Still does fear jail. They're scared to go to jail. They already know they don't want to be in. Obviously, because if they did, they would have stood up and admitted to anything around this guy. I don't believe it's that cut and dry. People are screaming Kodak, oh, they're looking. Yes, they are. And the news did release. But me and Dom have had private conversations before. And we had very detailed conversations. I don't believe it's like, oh, Kodak Black did it. Nah. Because people, I seen this, and the reason I spoke on it because it's news. But I don't believe it's solely Kodak Black. I don't believe it's just like that. I believe it's deeper than that. Like this, look at this scenario. This is me speaking from knowledge of actually dealing with criminology. It's much deeper than that. There was no drama between the two that was outright, oh, Kodak hates this guy. There's nothing like that. But there is people that did hate him. So it's much deeper than that. So here's my thing. If they're smart, you're not just looking at a jail phone call. You're linking a jail phone call to a situation. Okay, you look at that separately. I'm looking at which one of my friends were jealous. Who came up off of me going down? If they look at that, and trust me, we looked at that. And we put that out there here. That's my thing. It's not that cut and dry. It's not just that. If it was that simple, we would have been jumped out the window. I could have been jumped out the window and said, hey, look at this guy. No, it's not that simple. Somebody had to be profiting around him directly involved in this happening. Because there's no way you would have made it to a superstar without a person opening the door. So you know how they talk about the backdoor stuff? That looks like this. So who backdoored X? That's what the question is. Don't sit here and say Kodak didn't have the power to backdoor X. He wasn't that close with him. Come on now. Just because these are his friends, we been knew that these guys were his friends. That doesn't mean, listen to me. Kodak was never present at any of the parties we saw the videos of. Come on now. We would have seen him in a video. We would have seen sometime. Only time we seen him was showing up to meet you, Cleo. Cleo, you could speak for this. That's the only time we've seen it. That's the only time. I don't believe. And when Kodak went, he came in gracious terms and met up with her. There wasn't anything malicious that we saw. But we did see, however, malicious behavior behind other people. Funny style behavior. Here's my thing, Kodak. You saw the people around him. Let's be real, Kodak. You know the people around him. Tell me that they weren't acting funny. Come on now. These suspects were seen at a party that they were at. It wasn't just, oh, Kodak did this. Come on now. Kodak is built for the years he put in. He served his time, did his dirt. Whatever he did, he went to jail for. I'm not here believing he was alone. Oh, Kodak. Nah, man. It wasn't like that. It don't even make sense to even look at it like that. So that'd be dumb. You're looking at it. Look at all this other evidence around. The parties, the interactions, the people, the strange people around. Just because these guys were part of his group does not mean that he sent them to do this. Come on. That's a easy open and shut case. It would have been solved if that was that simple. Do not be fooled. There is much more that is occurring here. And I don't even know if it's a musician, artist. I don't know, man. This is what I'm saying. Because everybody's jumping out the window like, oh, because of this, he did. Not true, man. There's more to it. Stop hitting me up saying, oh, look, he did it. Shout out to Dylan, because Dylan is objective. He gets it. He's like, yo, check out what came out. We're looking at everything. I'm like, okay, I see this angle. But what about this angle over here? There's still many questions here that weren't answered. And people are like, oh, come on now. You really see this stuff happen. All that talking y'all did when I did it earlier, I broke everything down. It's not that simple. You're trying to railroad Kodak because he's an easy out. Come on, man. Look at everything. Does it make sense that he's the only person and no one ever looked at this? They could have easily marked him up to that situation. Who even said it was Diedrich that they're looking at the calls about? Come on now. Or just Robert Allen. Trust me. There's so much more to it. There had to be an angle in and an authoritative part. But also, there had to be an angle in by a friend, yo. If it was that simple, then tell me why his buddies didn't get up and just even hint at that. They knew who these guys were. Because these guys weren't friends of them. But what makes sense is look at who's profiting off of what happened. I'm talking about who came up. Who was a nobody before any of this happened. Come on now. It's not that cut and dry. So before we go out accusing Kodak, please look at the evidence. Come on now. You guys got to be better investigators than that. This makes no sense. Yes, you're looking at how he was involved on the jail calls. The jail calls don't say everything. I heard him. There's nothing there to say cut and dry. If his lawyer, okay, objectively, if his lawyer is smart, you won't let them just hang your man off of jail calls. They're going to have to show you some type of evidence. Why was he never mentioned? Because there's no evidence other than what publicly was done. And he was interacting with Cleo. That's the only time we know. And we can't, because we can't even jump out the window and say, Cleo did this, did that. We know what she did because of what X said and what she's done from the documentary. What she lied about, what she told the truth about. Even on her angle, it got to be deeper than that. You're not going to convince me. Come on now. You got to do more than that. Come on. You guys claim you're so woke, but you barely see the picture. You're not piecing everything together. And I'm really curious because remember, we talked about a lot of things and we wonder how authority missed it. Look at the people who are investigating the case. Come on now. Man. A lot of people are going to fall for the okie doke, but that's cool. Fall for the okie doke. Whatever. You're not woke, man. You guys aren't seeing it. It's much deeper than that. Look at everything around. Look at other cases that are similar, and you'll begin to piece together a picture much bigger and broader and deeper. And you'll see that, wait, hold on. Why? What's the purpose? Wait, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? Wait, didn't he do that? Come on now. You guys are just jumping for everything. And we had this conversation before, and I rock with Dom all the way. I rock with him. But you already understand, it's not, I'm objective. I'm not sitting there like, oh, Kodak, no. They're not going to get me like that. Trust me, it's not just Kodak sent these guys. No, these guys of their own cognition was at parties with no Kodak. So you're telling me, come on now. Yo, come on, man. Whatever, man. Yo, come on, think logically. What position could he be put in to do anything without someone on the inside saying something? Or I've been telling y'all, look at all the angles. Don't sit there and say Kodak did this. Nah, not at all. What? Because he's been in and out of jail? Who hasn't been to jail? Who's scared to go to jail? Come on now. Let's be real. You guys are falling for it. If you do, you do. I'm objective. It is what it is. But at the same time, come on, man. You can't sit here and tell me, oh, it was all Kodak. Nah, nope. You're not going to get me like that. I'm sorry. He's been dealing with cases. And the funny thing, he ain't never kicked no one under the bus for his own case. He's always taking his time for his cases. So if you want to tell me he sent this guy off the, nah, because honestly, he's moved a lot smarter in other stuff where we're like, dang. So don't sit there and say it's only Kodak. Nah, man, trust me, it's so much deeper. You guys just got to see the picture. And that's the thing. A lot of people, I read through your comments. YouTube hit a lot of your comments because you can't leave a comment cursing. It's not going to show. YouTube's going to block it. So I've never seen some of your comments. I literally chatted with YouTube, opened up the comments, started reading through the new comments, watching the new videos. I'm sorry. If I had never seen your video, it's because it was blocked. But I unblocked it, working with YouTube. Shout out YouTube, and I was able to read in and see. It's much deeper than that. Everything. These guys still ain't seeing the picture. They're still a little lost. And it's very disconcerting, but it is what it is. If you guys want to believe what you see in the media, that it's that straightforward, okay, that's you. But I'm saying, yo, you got to look at the bigger picture. Kodak and him did not have beef. Understand that. There was no drama between them that we know of publicly, allegedly. If there was something behind the door, then I stand corrected. But he did have beef with multiple other people. Not only that, he had friends around him that were looking to profit off of him, and that profited off of him. Look at that. That's a direct connection. And y'all still ignoring that. You're not going to get me like that. Not this way. You know how I rock here. All rights reserved. What? How can I help you, sir? How can I help you, sir?